What up, Pink Ladies, T-Birds, just happen to be watchers of my shh. My name is Jimmi Pynk, and I know this ain't the ideal situation, but I'm feeling pretty good today. Let's get into this celebrity drag race. So, as many of you guys may know, my father is in the hospital, so I decided to stay with my mother for a couple days, so I'm not at home to do an edit. And let me just say that they do not believe in lights higher than 40-watt bulbs around here. But I'm going to do my best to go over Celebrity Drag Race with you. So, first of all, when I got a chance to rewatch it, it actually was better than I thought it was going to be. It actually was better. It's not exactly Drag Race the second, but yeah, it kind of is. One great thing about it being celebrities is that the money is going to charity, which is always a good thing. Okay, we're not going to say anything negative about that. So, our first contestants. Now, I'm just going to keep it a buck with y'all. I didn't take notes. Even though I did bring my notebook, I kind of forgot. And I watched it yesterday, so bear with me. I still wanted to do the review for you guys. So, we have Nico Tortorello, who I guess is an actor and was on the show Younger. That was like a Nickelodeon exclusive, so that makes sense. That's in the Viacom family. Jordan Connor, who was the only person that I knew, even though I didn't know his name, because my Pink Ladies and T-Birds has been rocking with me for a while, even though I haven't been watching it this season. Y'all know I used to do Riverdale real heavy. He plays Sweet Pea on Riverdale, and like, I love him on Riverdale. Like, I love his character on Riverdale because he's a bad boy and he's sexy and all that good stuff. He's one of the Southside Serpents, if any of you guys have ever seen some of my drag looks, because I've had on Southside Serpent jackets before. And Jermaine Fowler, who is a comedian and actor, and he was in Sorry to Bother You, which I haven't gotten a chance to watch yet, which is a movie. But anyway, you have your guest judges and your guest drag mentors, or however they put their names is this time, is Bob, Monet, and Trixie, all previous winners of RuPaul's Drag Race, or at least RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, respectfully. And, God, y'all gotta see this picture of fucking Jordan Connor from Instagram with him shirtless in the pool. Good googly goo. I had no idea that he was like a former football player, and like he was saying, like, even like he was 19 and 20, so he must have was gonna, like, you know, play in college and was doing pretty good. I need to look that stuff up. But the winner, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I liked about it. Number one, what I liked about it is that they actually went through a full day of drag race. It wasn't like Drag You, where we're just going to put you in drag and voila. It was, they had to do quick drag. They had to do a mini challenge. They had to do a main challenge, which was Snatch Game. And then they also had to do their runway looks. So that was a little bit more interesting that they had to do that. Also, just some of the reasons why they were doing Drag Race. Not only were they doing it for charity, but we had found out that Jermaine's mother passed away a year and a half ago, and she was a lesbian. We found out that Jordan has a gay brother and a gay sister. And then Nico, who identifies as gender nonconformative, this is something that helped him come out and go on his own journey. So, even though, and we already knew that this was a distinct possibility that the celebrities was going to be celebrity adjacent at best, I feel like the three people they chose had good reasons for being here with their charities, as well as, you know, them just kind of reaching out as either queer themselves or queer allies. So I thought that was pretty cool. And right away, it kind of melted away that I didn't even really like know anybody but Sweet Pea. And when I tell y'all, Sweet Pea, again, tertiary character at best. I don't even know if he's on this season, because you know they probably shot this last year. Which, was the last season I watched, and he was on the season lightly, real lightly. But in any case, Riverdale is a huge show. Get your coin, boo boo. And his fiance is a huge fan of the show. So right away they have to go put on boobs, pads, and they have to do this thing where they're going through like this little quick drag maze that they had set up. Like, this is like how it is to go on your first gig. And yes, I was cracking up because even though they were trying to have fun, I was just looking at the stuff that they were picking, and I was like, okay, y'all got some kind of training. Y'all have some kind of idea what y'all was going to do. Because, like, they all picked stuff that actually matched and went. And that was kind of funny to me. Especially Jordan. I was like, yeah, your fiance is a fan of the show because you picked out the cute dress, had the little lavender wig, little hot pink pumps, and whatever. But when I tell y'all, when they was trying to walk in these pumps, even the little one that had some idea of how it was to walk in the pumps was funny. Thanks, Mom. Mm-hmm. My mom just came back. She got me some chocolate because it's that time of the month. So we had that, and it was just cute. But Jordan was like knowing the words of Jealous of My Boogie, and I'm like, your fiance makes you watch Drag Race. You know a little bit too much, Sweet Pea. His name will be Sweet Pea from here on out because he's the only character I know. Just accept it. He's Sweet Pea. And of course, the phone rings right in the middle of me recording. Okay. So with that being said, we get to what their main challenge is going to be, which is Snatch Game. So they're discussing, I forgot to say who as judges. So Jordan won the mini challenge. That's Sweet Pea. So Sweet Pea picks Trixie and gives Monet to Nico and Bob to Jermaine, which Jermaine was ecstatic because Bob is a stand-up comedian and so is he. And also the Jermaine was just talking about it took a turn for what I was not expecting this show to be. Jermaine was just talking about because his mom was a lesbian, and like black queer representation and just being yourself and getting on. Like, this isn't what I was expecting. Like, when they made him up and he turned around in the mirror and like he took a moment and he was crying because he looked like his mom and he was like, wow, to like see my mom again, but it was in me. And of course, like, his drag name was his mother's name and his daughter's name combined. It was just, it wasn't what I expected. And then, like I said, Nico saying like the fact that it was like two straight guys that was doing this and like really accepting of the project and everything, and it was a lot. It was better than I thought it was gonna be, you guys. It was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. Then you have them doing Snatch Game, so they're getting trained to do Snatch Game. And Jordan decided to do Chrissy Teigen. And when I tell you, I was looking at him and was like, you might actually end up looking like her. It was crazy because he said his fiance was like, well, you're gonna be pretty. I was like, yeah, he is. I kind of knew he was. Because Sweet Pea's hot, okay? Now, Jordan and that personality, I was like, oh, he's cute and nice and sweet, and he's raising money for cystic fibrosis because his fiance's father passed away from it. And I was like, oh, he is just a wonderful human being. But Sweet Pea on Riverdale is fine because, bad boy, wrong side of the tracks in the Southside Serpent gang. It is what it is. Sorry, sue me. And as y'all can see, he could tall. Y'all know I like type tall men. I just told y'all how much I had a crush on Jeff Goldberg. Bloom. Goldblum. I'm winging it, y'all. I'm winging it. This is like a remote right now. What else was I saying? Nico did Lucille Ball, and quite honestly, when Monet turned him around, that face was really looking like Lucille Ball. And then he did the, I was like, okay. But you also have to realize that these three people are actors. One of which is a stand-up comedian. And the other two are actors. Younger is a comedic TV show. It's a sitcom. Riverdale is kind of a dramedy, even though they straight up asked Sweet Pea, like, is your character comedic? And he was like, I think my character might be like the most serious person on the show. And you know what? Season 4 withholding because I haven't seen it. Sweet Pea like really never got anything goofy to do. Like, he was the brawler. It was obvious that he was like the muscle. Because again, he's a gang member. So it was like pretty obvious that he was the muscle, and he really never got any of the fun things to do. And even when they did Heather's the Musical, which I do have a review of on this channel, he was supposed to play JD, but they never even gave him a number. He was barely in the episode. So like, I was like, yeah, he don't really do anything funny. But he laid that Chrissy Teigen out. It was funny. And you can tell it wasn't set up identical to Snatch Game because these are not professional drag queens. They're not competing for RuPaul's Drag Race proper. You can tell there was definitely, they were letting the people get their jokes off. But it was still pretty good. And Jermaine Fowler doing Kavina Hart. Y'all, I was so tickled with him doing Kavina Hart because they was like, RuPaul was like, well, you know, you're not on the actual drag race, so if you want to do that, and it was supposed to be his apology for making like the trans jokes. So it was, I'm trying to rebrand myself, and had Kevin Hart down. Now, I would argue that Jermaine won Snatch Game. Even though they were all good, the Vigi Vagia Ginger Minge, that shit was funny. That whole bit was funny, but you know, them was like full bits that they was doing. So you know, it wasn't quite set up exactly the way Snatch Game is set up, but it's only 3 people. Bob is on the panel because I guess all 3 of them had to be involved, and the other 2 were judges. The other 2 were the contestants on Snatch Game. But overall, well, I'll put it to you like this: it was better than Snatch Game on season 12. And that's shade. It was better than Snatch Game on season 12. Maybe that's what they need to do. Maybe they need to start separating Snatch Game 4 and 4 or something, because it was a lot better. But again, also these people are professional actors, and one of which a stand-up comedian as well. So then we get the Runway, and the Runway is Supermodel of the World. And they all come out in RuPaul looks. What the frack? Quite literally. RuPaul, okay, get over yourself. They did not have to all do RuPaul looks though. That I didn't care for. Especially since everybody had on looks that when they did the Night of 1,000 RuPauls, people had on all them looks already. But obviously, maybe these people are obviously, again, not professional drag queens. They're not bringing their own looks. This is what they have there. So Jordan comes out, and even though Jordan is still walking like a man, Sweet Pea still looking like a man. Or I'm sorry, what was her name? Babykins LaRue. Babykins LaRue was looking like fish, and I was cracking up because he even said that. He said, I'm over here looking like fish, and these other 2 don't even know what gills are. I was like, yeah, Jordan, your ass watch RuPaul's Drag Race. You trying to play it off like, oh, my niece is a fan. I mean, not my niece. Oh, my fiance is a fan. Oh, my brothers and sisters are gay. My brother and my sister are gay, and they love your show. Nigga, you watch this show. You doing too well. You doing too well, Sweet Pea. You watch it too. You watch it too. Stop fronting. But to know that he was like, which a lot of actors are. A lot of actors, they have that talent. They can get on stage or perform, and it kind of melts away. But like regular, normal, like they're really, really shy. And then he was even saying, like, back when I was playing football, I would be terrified to do something like this, you know. But outside of, and he did good, and he was doing good with his lip sync too. You know, you was a little rough in the heels, but overall looked really good. And boy, oh boy, was Sweet Pea having a good old time with them wings on that costume, wasn't he? But the hair was good. The only thing I would say is I thought his makeup was a little too light around the eyes. But he's not doing his own makeup. That's not his fault. That's Trixie's fault. But my God, he was gorgeous. He was gorgeous. He was gorgeous. Spoiler alert, he ended up winning the whole thing. Jermaine, that is because, RuPaul is a very, very good. Jermaine was small. Jermaine was a short man. Not as short as Kevin Hart, but a short man. So to have on that big silver, that silver dress that kind of looks like the paper dress that Chi Chi DeVane had on, that silver look with the faux mohawk. I agree with the judges. Like, that dress could have easily swallowed him, very easily. And again, all of them was really walking like men. Even the one that was gender fluid that said that they do drag. You was doing better than them, but you still wasn't looking like a woman walking yet. You wasn't there yet. You was giving me a little kimchi with the walk, a little bit, a little more swag to it, but a little bit. But I thought Jermaine wore it well. I thought his makeup looks good. I do think that he probably had the most manly walk out of everybody. But when I tell y'all, Nico came around that corner, I was like, oh, bitch. Oh, yeah, you a drag queen. You could be a drag queen. You could. Nico came around that corner and that you better work supermodel of the world. And that face, and the face was not the same. Like the other two, they makeup looked exactly the same as Snatch Game. No, the first time that was Lucy's face. This was somebody else. This was a different face. And that wig was right. The outfit fit right. I was like, oh. Well, if you ever decide you want to do some roles, or you actually, because I think they said, Nico said that they did want to do drag, or they had already started doing drag a little bit ago, like 5 months ago or something like that. Like, yeah, if you want to do another career doing drag, because that face was snatched. I'm like, uh-oh. But they were very adamant that they didn't want to tuck. So then when they went to go do the lip sync, he had on like a G-string with his bulge out, and he was twerking and stuff. Jermaine, house phones. Jermaine didn't even know the words. Like, Jermaine, I think, probably had the hardest time with it. But I'm still proud of all of them for going through it. Jordan won the overall. I think that was probably correct. But then the other two contestants also got $10,000 for their charities. Did I mention the charities? I mentioned the let me get back into that. Let me mention the charities, because we don't want to ignore the fact of that's why all of this is happening. So let me try to pull that back up. And of course, the screen comes off. Because of course. Okay. So Nico's charity was the Transgender Law Center. Sweet Pea had the Cystic Fibrosis Canada, cause he's Canadian, cause of course he is. That I was like, when he was like speaking and stuff, I was like, yeah, and a lot of actors are. And Fowler, that was Jermaine, shows Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, because he found out that somebody very close to him when he was a child and they were a child were being sexually abused. So now he wants to do everything that he can for that. But overall, I'm not so much hating Celebrity Drag Race the way I thought I was going to. I didn't hate it. Now, what I will say is this. For me, it kind of melted away, but at the same time, I was always rooting for Sweet Pea because I knew who he was. And I know a lot of people don't know who the majority of the people are. And that may take some of the fun out of it. But yeah, I knew Sweet Pea, but I didn't know the other two, and I still thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. Is it something I need y'all to do every year? No. Not by any means. Is it something that I needed y'all to do and play right after Drag Race so somebody got to sit here for 3 hours and watch this shit? No. But that's neither here nor there. But there it is. I got that out. I'm sorry the lighting isn't great. It's not going to be edited, but I tried to explain to you guys the situation. And That's what's going on. Like, bro, I don't even have clothes. I got clothes at my parents' house. I didn't even pack none. So this t-shirt was over here. I got on some pajama pants. Same hat as yesterday. No makeup, none of that stuff. But yeah, how did y'all feel about Celebrity Drag Race? I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. It was better than I thought it was gonna be. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and knock down one of these candy bars because I'm having a severe craving, and talking to y'all, I lost my damn Sprite. Yum. Excuse me. Obey your thirst and keep it greasy. Deuces.